Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha, Guru Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. We are in the 18th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, here known as Bhavartha Deepika by Jnaneshwari Maharaj. We are in the 66th verse and 1450 OV. OV number 1450. And we were looking at the greatness of our Bhagavad Gita, how it has come out, how it is the essence of all the Upanishads, how Upanishads only indicate the truth to the seeker, whereas Bhagavad Gita not only tells you how, not only indicates the truth, but also gives us a way to be one with the Lord, Ishvara, as well as if someone wants to just be in this world, for that such a person, how such a person can attain the best out of interacting with the world and be successful, be at peace of mind, and thirdly, be one with the spirit. All the aspects of human endeavor are considered in Bhagavad Gita, and solutions are given, which sometimes it takes lifetimes for us to understand the lessons. But here in Bhagavad Gita, every aspect of your personality, every way, what is not every way, what is the best way to interact, function in this world, that has been shown. And here towards the last week, we are looking at, we'll read the 51st to 55th OV and then we'll look at it. हे असो कांड त्रयात्मक श्रुति मोक्ष रूप फल एक वो भावे जे आवश्यक ठाकावे म्हणवनी तयाचे निसाधन ज्ञानेसी वैर करी जो प्रति दिवशी तो अज्ञान वर्ग षोडशी प्रतिपादिजे तोची शास्त्राचा बोळावा घेवो नि वैरी जिणावा हा निरोपू तो 17वा अध्याय येथ ऐसा प्रथमा लागोनी 17वा लाणी करुनी आत्मनिश्वास विवरूनी दाविला देवे तया अर्थ जाता अशेषा केला तात्पर्याचा आवांका तो हा 18वा देखा कलशाध्यायो. Yes, so we were looking, the Jnaneshwari Maharaj was giving a precis, a summary of, or the what each chapter stands for, and so in other words, a summary of all the important chapters. And we had come to he said from the chapter 12 to the end of chapter 15 contain the Jnana Kanda, dealing with knowledge. In this way, the Gita, which is a beautiful digest consisting of 3 divisions. Which are the 3 divisions? Karma, Bhakti and Jnana. And between these 3, all other possible pathways that you can think of, every one of those pathways is included. consisting of three divisions. Is consisting of three divisions, is telling all in a thundering voice that they should partake in this fruit in the form of liberation. I was thinking you were not coming. No, it's okay. So, in this manner, the goal of Bhagavad Gita is what? Goal of Bhagavad Gita is moksha. Then what was karma for? The three divisions. What was karma for? To act in such a manner while living in this world that we purify. Do we purify only at physical level? No. Purify at antahkaran must be purified. What is antahkaran? Mana, buddhi, chitta, ahankar. Mind, memory, what is that? Mana, buddhi. Mind, intellect, memory and ego. So what is purification of ego? It should dissolve. That's all. It should become thinner and thinner and thinner. When will it become thinner? When the other three, mind, intellect and memories, they become thinner and thinner and thinner. When will intellect become thinner? When mind becomes thinner. When will mind become thinner? When memories become thinner. And how do you thin the memories? By studying Bhagavad Gita. And how else you? The one thing is studying, but what does Gita saying? Read chapter from 2, 3, 4. There it is told how to act in life. Then what happens? When mind is purified, automatically the energy that is available, it has to be employed somewhere. The consciousness, you become aware that that you are something other than this equipment. Who is that? Because our search is still objective. As a result of purification, it's not that you have started abiding in self. Still little bit fine dirt is there. So how do you go beyond the objectification of thought? So then the attention is brought to the universal consciousness, Ishvara, or the totality. So what do you do there? The tool you have is the mind. Can consciousness uddharit atmana atmanam? Can consciousness raise consciousness? Can consciousness raise consciousness? Not possible, because consciousness is complete. So consciousness is self-existing, consciousness is self-knowing, consciousness does not need to do anything. Then who is seeking? The mind is seeking. And what is the mind's search? It wants happiness. And we have to give, it has to get fired up, it has to get inspired. It must desire. We are happy with only little but happiness. It must intensely desire the infinite one, knowing which the mind is convinced that it does not want to come back into the cyclical. It does not want to get happiness from the objects. It does not want happiness from the body. It does not want happiness as an objective experience. See? So we move for that, because the mind by nature is objective. Mind by nature is objective. So we are giving him another object. What is that object? Totality. What is that object? Hiranyagarbha. What is that object? Ishvara. The universal form. So he gets, acha, that's when religions are formed. So he is fired up. Acha, It is possible. All my problems will be over. All my issues will be over. And that is called consummation. It is called nirvana. It is called God realization. Yes. So, greater the purification, very quickly it will happen. We want God realization, but we don't want purification. It will not happen. Then only glimpse. Then only glimpse. A glimpse here and a glimpse there, rest of the time frustration. Then blame the God. Why you did this? फिर आता है ना, दुनिया बनाने वाले काहे को दुनिया बनाई? Why did you make this world, oh Creator? Only to give me problems, only to give me grief, only to give me pain. So we have to be fired up. That purified mind has to be applied in the search to permanent happiness. The interim is the Ishvara or the totality. See? And while he is on this path, some of them are happy with that, so be it. But there are some fools like us. While we are on that, but who is more important? How does he look? We want to inquire. We are not happy with only surrender to the Lord. We want to know, what does surrender mean? What does consummation mean? What does nirvana mean? What does liberation mean? Then such a person, if he is having this itch, then the third part of the Bhagavad Gita gets activated, which is the Jnana Marga, the path of knowledge. And that is what we are looking at. And now here we have reached chapter 16. So here he told that the Gita is in a thundering voice that they should partake of this fruit in the form of liberation. You want a result from investment, you want a result of marriage, you want a result of someone giving you, praising you, someone saying how beautiful you are, how young you are. This is fruit only. I ate the food. What is the fruit? My tummy is full. This is fruit. What is the fruit? I come to Bhagavad Gita class. Oh, that was, we enjoyed it. It was, but after that, again come next week. So it's a temporary one. We want a permanent one. And which is the permanent one? It is called liberation. It is called moksha. We don't want a temporary one. Now, in chapter 16, this is where 1451 it begins. Shadatrayatmaka. Here, so Shadatrayatmaka. In chapter 16, it expounds the nature of ignorance which is inimical to the means of knowledge. Wow. Bhagavad Gita is teaching about ignorance also. Yes. How does ignorance express? It is Trigunatmika. What was the chapter 16 about? Tan, tan, tan. Oh, the Devas and the Asuras. That was chapter 16. It expounds the nature of ignorance which is inimical to the means of knowledge. Now we think we are thinking of God, so we are out of ignorance. No. Thinking of ungodly thoughts and thinking of godly thoughts, both comes under the umbrella of ignorance. The truth is transcendental. Now this, what did you say? Did you tell us in chapter 16? Yes, we did tell you. It's not possible that we did not tell you. So, but we are obsessed that only good thoughts give up bad thoughts. No, we have to go beyond good thoughts and bad thoughts. Just like you have to go beyond the day and night to see that sun is the ultimate. You have to go beyond the waking and the dream in order to go to sleep. So, where in sleep, are there good thoughts or bad thoughts? None of those thoughts are available, isn't it? In dream, good thoughts and bad thoughts are there, good experiences, bad experiences are there. In waking, also good experiences, bad experiences. But in deep sleep, you're beyond. But you don't know it. But you don't know it. So, on one hand are the experiences, which is waking and dream. On the other hand is the non-experience, which is deep sleep. Where have these, so when we are talking, chapter 16 is talking about ignorance. Ignorance here is two ways you can take it. Either it is the expression of the Maya, or you can take it as the expression of incomplete knowledge. See? So where have the good and the bad thoughts come from? What is the source? According to the scriptures, the source of waking and dream is deep sleep. Deep sleep is the source. And what is deep sleep? A state of nothingness. This is initial stages, we speak like that. Afterwards, we remove that also. It is a working theory. See? So what is deep sleep state? An unmanifest state. What is waking and dream? Manifest state. And what is told there in 16th chapter, Deva and Asura, that from the gross you come to the subtle. From the subtle you go to the transcendental. Another way of putting it, from the tamasic thoughts you come to the dynamic thoughts. Because dynamism takes away laziness, takes away procrastination, takes away sleep, inadvertence, takes away the animalistic behavior that you have. If you become dynamic, well, it can, if it is not given proper direction, even dynamic people can be, if dynamism is ruled by tamas, if dynamism is ruled by objectivity, it will lead to destruction, dynamic destruction. That is what Asuras and Rakshasas are doing. Then who are Devas? Devas are, so these are the negative thoughts. What are Devas? The good thoughts, the positive thoughts. See? And it is helpful. Rather than thinking negative thoughts, think of positive thoughts. Discard the negative thoughts. Bask in the grace and the glory and the light of the good thoughts. And in those thoughts, that is the sattvic thoughts, slowly, slowly from dynamism, you will go into contemplation. So as you move in that direction by the grace of the good thoughts, see, then you transcend, then you go beyond the good and the bad thoughts, the good and the bad energy, positive or negative energy. Yin and yang will keep you in a circular motion. We want to shoot off the gravity of this cyclical motion. And what is our cyclical motion? Yin yang is equal to waking dream, deep sleep, waking dream, deep sleep, waking dream, deep sleep. That is on a total day basis. Otherwise, sometimes father, sometimes brother, sometimes sister, sometimes husband, sometimes employee, sometimes this. Again next day, same roles going on again and again. Cyclical. Sometimes happy, sometimes unhappy. Sometimes happy, sometimes cyclical. Sometimes understand, sometimes don't understand. Then next day, again sometimes understand, sometimes don't understand. Cyclical. We want to shoot out of it. Then it is told, Ha neroputo satarava adhyayayetha. So now in the 17th chapter states that this enemy of knowledge must be conquered with the aid of scriptures. This is Jnaneshwari is giving his understanding of it, which is also correct, or which is correct, not also. So, chapter 17 states that this enemy of knowledge must be conquered with the aid of scriptures. In this way, from chapter 1 to the end of chapter 17, the Lord has explained the gist of the Vedas, which were born from his very breath. And in this way, by the aid of the scriptures. And what do the scriptures tell? In a gist, if it is written here, the chapter 17 states that this enemy of knowledge must be conquered with the aid of scriptures. What are the scriptures telling you? Everything that I have just now explained. But in short, that you are that. You are already that. If it is a devotee, the individual consciousness is the total consciousness. If you are a Jnani, then the individual self is none other than Brahman or the infinite self. This is what the scriptures are telling you. And wherever the roadblocks are there, all those roadblocks are taken into consideration as from chapter 1 till chapter 17. Chapter 1 itself was the identity crisis. Many people, just now, yesterday I was at Fiji temple, there's someone I know, 27-year-old son died. I don't know for what, because of what. But some crisis, either health crisis or mental crisis. Suicide is also a crisis, isn't it? Low self-esteem, depression, all these are crises. See? So, show the gratitude to Lord that He has put you on this path. Now don't leave. It is a very nice path. Path doesn't need your validation. Oh, it is a very nicely Bhagwan Krishna has written. He doesn't need your validation. He knows what he has given. It is his breath. It is the Lord's breath. These scriptures are Lord's breath. He knows. Then how do we show our gratitude? That from what we were doing, how we were in our life, and He just plucked us out and put it in the right place where we are exposed to this knowledge. We must think back. We must assess our life every night. Are we moving in the direction that He has planned for us? What the Gita is telling to us. See? And that gratitude can be shown by realizing what He is teaching you through the Bhagavad Gita. And what is that? Liberation. Be one with Him. Surrender to Him. Or recognize that you are the consciousness. You the consciousness, He the consciousness are one. That is also okay. But come to that conclusion. Or come to that conclusionless conclusion. Dissolve yourself completely, madly, as if there is no tomorrow. But we take this world to be so real, these relations to be so real, this body to be so real, while doing everything. Find a way out, quietly, secretly, within your heart. Nobody needs to know. The Lord has explained the gist of Vedas, which were born from his very breath. The 18th is the crowning chapter, which contains the pith of the discourse in the previous chapters. It is the essence of all the other chapters. And out of that also, Bhagavan keeps refining it, refining. 2 times he refined. And in the end, he says, Sarva dharman parityajya mamekam sharanam vaja, and forget everything else. Give up everything and come to surrender to me. See? Continuing in 1456. एवं सकल संख्या सिद्धु श्री भगवद गीता प्रबंधु हा औदार्ये आगळा वेदु मूर्तु जाण वेदु संपन्नु होय ठाई परिकृपणु ऐसा आनु नाही जे कानी लागला तिही वर्णाच्याची येरा भवव्याथा ठेलिया स्त्री शूद्रादिका प्राणिया अनवसुरू मांडुनिया राहिला आहे तरी मज पाहता ते मागील उणे फेडावया गीतापणे वेदू वेठला भलतेणे सेव्य होआवया नाहे अर्थुरिगोनी मनी श्रवणे लागोनी कानी जपमिषे वदनी वसोनिया. He says, in this way, this discourse known as the Bhagavad Gita, enshrined in 700 verses, constitutes the Vedas incarnate, until and unless the precepts that are given in the Vedas are not followed, then that cannot be called a scripture. Our, how should I say, our pramana, our authority is the Vedas. In that Vedas, for Karma Kanda is the first part of the Veda. For the Upasana is the Suktams. For the Jnana, the Praman, the authority is the Upanishads. And this is where these 3 divisions, they are fighting each other. No, karma is more, no, bhakti is more, knowledge is more important. We are not interested in all that. We are interested in to abide in the infinite. That is our goal. I don't care. If I have to do puja, I'll do puja. If I have to, yes, everything has its own place. So here he says that, and how many verses are there? 700, and they constitute the Vedas incarnate. This is the, see, what is the source of Vedas? I'm taking you in a different direction. Where have the Vedas come from? You will say, breath of the Lord. He said it. Where are they? Vedas are, what is Vedas made up of? Various words. Words are made up of what? Alphabets. Alphabets are made up of what? Vowels and consonants. Vowels and consonants have come from where? From Om. From Om. See? So, one is called manifest sound, the other is called unmanifest sound. So, when we say Om, this is manifest Om, which is being uttered. So, is there an eternal sound? Unmanifest sound is when you are not chanting. But is there an eternal sound? That is Om. That is Om. And who is chanting that continuous Om non-stop? The mischief maker. Who? The Lord. Krishna is the mischief maker. Out of him only the whole creation has come. And what is his mischief? He has made us confused. Now he is giving us the solution also. First he confuses. He doesn't confuse. I am sorry. Bhagavan, sorry. We get confused by our own free will. Because we think there is a free will. Till we realize there is nothing called free will. Everything is happening by his will. See, when we are doing the karma kand, that time we say, yeah, you have free will. Absolutely you have free will. It's better. He's not ready to think of God. He's not ready to surrender. He's not ready to realize, I got free will. So a lazy person is made into active person. By free will, he has to make the choice. So till you don't get consumed into the consciousness as the consciousness, just a language, till then we have to exercise free will. So I choose. First I used to choose that I am the body, then I started becoming attentive that body is not only everything, body is only a concept of the mind. Then mind is not everything, mind is owned by the I. Then I is not everything, whose reflection is he? His consciousness. Where is this consciousness? What is this consciousness? See? For this we have to make choice. Do I want to be extrovert or do I want to be introvert? It's a choice. Every moment, as long as we are expressing in this body, there is a choice. How do Mahatmas live? They allow the body to live and they live choicelessly. Because they have merged into the infinite. So here he says, the Vedas are a veritable treasure of knowledge, but none are so niggardly in imparting it. They whisper knowledge to the ears of the first three castes, the Brahmins, the Kshatriyas and the Vaishyas. They are sitting tight without giving elbow room in the empire of knowledge to the women, Shudras, etc., who are equally affected by worldly misery. See, he is talking about those, he's talking from the times that he is born, because he went through that experience. Who? Jnaneshwari Maharaj. Jnaneshwari Maharaj's father, he was a sannyasi, and he had got married and under the pressure of his parents, and after marriage still he was so dispassionate towards the world. He didn't want to consummate the marriage. He just one day walked away and went to Varanasi. There he lived in an ashram under a great teacher, and that teacher in those days, 7th century, he was making a pilgrimage from Varanasi, Kashi to Rameshwaram. He wanted to take the waters of the Gangaji to Rameshwaram to give bath to the Rameshwar Jyotirlinga. And on the way he passed, so the fate would have it, he passed through Alandi, and there his wife, still young, she fell at his feet, and out of his mouth came Putravati Bhava, Saubhagyavati Bhava. Means, may you have children, Putravati, may you have children, Saubhagyavati, may you be happily married. But she says, please take your blessings back, because my husband, I don't know where he is. He's left me. He was already dispassionate. Maybe he has joined some ashram. But that master was so great, he closed his eyes. He checked out. This fellow is manager in my ashram. Manager meaning, not manager, but he is in charge. He is taking classes. He is one of the best students. Therefore, he has taken the responsibility of teaching other students. This great master didn't go to Rameshwaram. It was his dream. But went back to Kashi and told him, you go. He says, no, I will not go. No, he didn't say, I will not go. He says, but why? I have given up everything. He says, but I gave Ashirwad, and maybe The Lord has a better plan for you than you being a sannyasi. So he goes back. But the society discards him. And he has 4 children. All the 4 are realized masters. Still people sing in Alandi, Nivrittinath, Jnanadev Maharaj, Sopanadev and Muktabai. See? And even though they are sannyasis, even though they are educated, even though they were initiated by their father into the scriptures, but according to the tradition, they were to be given the thread ceremony. They did not give him thread ceremony. So the father said, what repentance I have to do in order to my children to get the thread ceremony? That was the sign of a Brahmin at that time, under the Islamic conquest of India. So they said, because they were so full of themselves, as if we are the protectors of religion, we are the protectors of scriptures, they made the husband and wife to give up their life. This is when the educated class starts acting like worse than a common man. The ego goes so high. So therefore Jnaneshwar Maharaj is saying here that these educated class, the Pandits, the Kshatriyas are the warriors, and the Vaishyas are the business people. Now, according to our society, according to our Vedic culture, these 3, Brahma, Kshatriya, Vaishya, the intellectuals, the dynamic, and the what will we use the word for Vaishya? For the creative, for the working class, or I should say, what is that word here? It is there.
Transactional?
Not just transactional, but also they
business community.
The business community, yeah. I don't know why it's not coming. The business community. So these 3 were allowed to study the scriptures, but the others, the helpers, the carpenters, and so on, all of them were not allowed to study the scriptures. They were not allowed to study in the ashram. The women were not allowed to study in the ashram. See? So Jnaneshwar Maharaj came and broke that belief system. And when he is speaking, all the types of people are sitting in front of him. Women are sitting, and he did not allow that Brahmins will sit separately, Kshatriya, the warrior class will sit separately, and the working class will sit separately. No, everyone together. And that is today, it started in Maharashtra, Karnataka, you will see the Varkari Sampradaya. That Varkari Sampradaya is there. Everyone respects everyone. Whether it is a Brahmin or you are lower than the lowest, they will touch each other's feet. See? This time we went to in Dehu, we went to, there's a big Tukaram Mutt on the banks. What is it called? There, hundreds of children are studying the scriptures. Traditionally. So he is saying the Vedas are a veritable treasure of knowledge, but so Vedas are knowledge, it must be imparted to everyone, but none are so niggardly in imparting it. They whisper knowledge to the ears of the first 3 castes, etc. They are sitting tight without giving the elbow room to the women, Shudras, etc., who are equally affected by worldly misery. What is the scripture there for? Scripture is not there to be praised and, oh, it was great. No. If you interact with the scripture like you all are, what happens? Dukkha nivritti, sukha prapti. What is dukkha nivritti? Removal of sorrow and grief. And in its place, what happens? What takes place? Sukha prapti, attainment of eternal peace, eternal happiness. This is the purpose of the scripture. Any scripture. Who is experiencing the misery and grief? Ego. Who is eternally peaceful and tranquil and happy? The conscious principle. So, journey is from this individual self, we have to be there. Recognize in its place the infinite self. See? But this was kept as secret. A religion is which functions with what? Fear and control. So these priests were practicing fear and control. Every religion functions this way only. If you don't do Nag Bali, your problems will not go over. If you don't do make the Saturn quieten and please him, then Sadhe Sati will be even worse. It will affect you very much. If you don't do this, and for doing that, what you have to do? You have to give money. Who will do the puja? They don't know how to do the puja. The priest has to do the puja. So as long as you are caught up in this, sukha prapti, the attainment of eternal happiness is not possible. Why? You are continuously thinking the sun is controlling me. I thought that was still okay. But then now the Venus is also controlling me. The Saturn is also controlling me. The Mars is also controlling me. All the 9 planets are controlling me. Wife is controlling me. Children are controlling me. Mother-in-law is controlling me. Man, how do I become free of all this? Only one way. You recognize you are the source of everything. Hiranya Garbhasthiti, Virat Purush. You come to that point or you come to be the consciousness. As long as you take this position that everyone is kind of dar ke jiyo fir. If the cat crosses the road, what will happen to everything that I am doing? It is going to go wrong because the cat has crossed the road. Early morning you get out of the house and the crow says, "Cow, cow." My day is beginning with hearing the crow crowing. By God, my whole day is going to be disaster. And he invites disaster in his life because he has given that connotation. I also used to think like that. Now, every day the crow comes outside. So I say, oh, Kak Bushundi ji aa gaye. Who is Kak Bushundi? Kak Bushundi is one who told the Ramayana and the knowledge of who Ram is to Garudji, the king of all the birds. So every time I see a crow, I say, Kak Bushundi ji, how are you? Thank you for gracing us. Please don't trouble the younger ones. There are other birds around. Huh? What is it that you want? I speak to all birds. And also I speak. But once upon a time, I never used to. I also used to think cat. Now we have a cat at home. How many times she crosses the path? You change the standpoint. Change the standpoint. Change the standpoint of your disposition. Don't be meek. Don't be poor me. No. No place for that. So Jnaneshwar Maharaj is openly telling the hypocrisy of all these educated class and coming out, he is only 12, 13 year old, and coming out in support of the woman and the what you call, and the uh, lower caste people. See, in our today it has become educated class. In every society it is like that. There is educated class, there is business class, there is working class, there is what do you call, military class, those who go into, those who have the dynamism and the power and to lead people, they are the kshatriyas. So which society doesn't have these four? We openly say that these are the four ways, and anyone can become any one of them. Everyone is free. A person born, our scriptures don't say that a child born to a Brahmin is a Brahmin. Every child is born a Shudra. Then by choice that child becomes a Kshatriya or a Vaishya or a Brahmin. You look at our life, when we began Shudra, then we studied Brahmachari, working. Then once that started, then Vaishya, only working for money. In our life, only working for money. But not forgetting, because at a young age it clicked by God's grace that the goal of life is liberation. What is liberation? I did not know. But working is going on, Vaishya is working out. Never, no leadership role. Leadership was zero. Then after studies, then some, what do you call, the capacity to bring people together got invoked. So classes here, classes there, take the children here, so many classes. That also got exhausted. Why? The goal was never forgotten. What happens to us? We get intoxicated by what is giving us the joy at that moment. I was nothing. Now so many people are following me. So many people are falling at my feet. So many people are listening to me. I have some status, Then you will continue to do whatever is required to maintain that. But if our goal is very clear, that, as I just told you, we were born a Shudra, went into making money, Vaishya, got into leading people, Kshatriya. Now what we are doing? Only teaching. Before there was, earlier, how will I teach? I don't know how to speak. How many people will come? How many people will not come? Now it does not bother. Come or don't come. So even in that knowledge, in that disposition of knowledge, there are different stages. Go. And those stages will keep unfolding only if we are clear about our goal. And the goal is, I am liberated even while I am speaking. Essentially. Not that one day I will get liberated. No. None of you, if you keep waiting, one day I will get liberated, one day I will realize, when I have done this job, then I will realize, when I retire, then I will realize, forget it, it is not going to happen. That's why you are born again. So two ways you can think why you are born. Either you are born because you didn't complete, my prarabdha, my destiny, I must have done something wrong in my last life, that's why I am still born as a human being again, and I must have left my sadhana in the last life and now it is continuing. You can think this way, or you can take it, my But I'm not the doer. I'm not the doer. He is the doer. Then he must have chosen me to again take birth. To do what? To teach Sanskrit. To learn chanting. To give lectures. To spread happiness and joy. To be a positive force in this society. In every person is in some way or the other. So it is his will. Once you take his will, story over. So rather than saying that it was because of my actions, because I was incomplete, so I was born again, there are enough stories to tell you that. So many anecdotes are there. Or you can take it as, is the Lord's will. If he keeps me, so be it. If he doesn't want to bring me back, so be it. Our attention must not deviate from the divine. Then whatever divine decides, but he doesn't decide, then why you are worrying whether you will be born or not? Then why you are worrying what will happen in next life? Then why are you worrying that I must have done some deeds, that's why I am born? Get out of the whole thinking only. Be at peace. Because otherwise it will be a huge cacophony in between the 2 ears. It's how you look at everything. So here Jnaneshwari Maharaj is saying, what purpose of Bhagavad Gita or the Vedas or scriptures is to dukkha nivritti sukha prapti, removal of misery and grief and attainment of fulfillment and happiness, eternal. And that is the lower rung of the society. They are also human beings. They are also toiling. They are also working. They also need to listen to Bhagavad Gita and the scriptures. The women are toiling at home all the day long. They also need to be. That's why I teach to everyone, even the Vedic chanting. Some people are here in Melbourne also. Women we will not teach. They should not chant Om. They should not chant the scriptures. They should not chant the Vedas. They should not chant the Upanishads. Who has? Just because tradition. If tradition is wrong because of certain circumstances, it came into being in that manner, then correct it. Use your common sense. This is what Jnaneshwari Maharaj is bringing all the people back to being commonsensical people. See? Just because it happened that way, we are doing it this way. Then better go there only. Why you are living here? And then he says, what? Jnanadeva says, so it seems to me that to make up for this deficiency and to make this knowledge available to all, the Vedas have assumed the form of the Gita to bring this knowledge, because the Vedas were not allowed to be seen by the lower rung of the society, were not allowed to be even seen or touched or opened by the woman and so on. So that Lord brought the essence of the Vedas in the form of Bhagavad Gita. Now everyone can open it, touch it, feel it, read it, study it. There also they became a bit controlling, but now with Jnaneshwari Maharaj's commentary, everyone is able to access. It is accessible to all. More than the Vedas, the Gita enters into their minds in the form of its meaning, into the ears through hearing, and into the mouths through reciting. That's why if you see, whenever we chant every mantra, you are not having your books, only one or two, maybe some of you there. But when I take Kathopanishad, every verse I chant, I make you chant, and then we chant together. The power of chanting the Vedic mantras or the mantras of the Bhagavad Gita, which is the essence of the Vedas, that vibration itself will do wonders. It will do wonders. Imagine, listening is so wonderful. It's so peace. It brings peace. You enjoy it. Imagine how much your own chanting will do to you. What will it do to you when you listen to your own chanting? This is coming from outside source. When it comes from within, oh, therefore, chanting the scriptures must continue throughout life as long as the throat is good. When the throat is bad, then what do? Huh? Hum it. Or it's a sign. Now you have exhausted your gross instrument. Now use the subtle instrument. Chant in the mind. Because no other choice. Into the mouths through reciting. So now he is telling the glory of chanting the Bhagavad Gita. What is the greatness of chanting of the Gita? What is the time? Enough time. ये गीतेचा पाठ जो जाणे तयाचे ने सांगातीपणे गीता लिहोनी वाहाणे पुस्तकमिशे ऐसैसा मिसकटा संसाराचा चोहटा गवादी घालीत चोखटा मोक्ष सुखाची परी आकाशी वसावया पृथ्वी कवरी बैसावया रविदीप्ती राहाटावया आवारू नभ देवी उत्तम अधम ऐसे सेविता कवणा ते ही न पुसे कैवल्यदाने सरिसे नववीत जगा याला मागिली कुटी भ्याला वेदू गीतेच्या पोटी रिगाला आता गोमटी कीर्ती पातला. He says, now listen all of you, including this mind. And what is that? He says, Jnaneshwari says, whoever recites it every day, whoever, that is every. Are we reciting Bhagavad Gita every day? Chant one verse, chant one chapter. See what happens to your mind. No, but what you want to know what happens and then you will start chanting. Yep, this is the problem. You chant. So he says, whoever recites it every day or spends his time in the company of those who recite it or copies it and distributes it in a book form, opens a free eating place providing the food of liberation in the marketplace of worldly affairs, just as the sky provides open space for all to dwell in the firmament, to stay on the earth or to roam in the sunlight, so the Gita welcomes all without discriminating between the best and the lowest and bestows upon them the bliss and peace of liberation. Thus the Vedas, afraid of being called miserly, entered the womb of the Gita and got a dazzling fame. How beautifully is written. Huh? We are living in a modern society. And what is this modern society? A scarcity of resources. So everyone is out there procuring resources to survive. Everyone is procuring resources to survive. We want to harness, save, invest. But how does the nature continue? Does the sun say, I must conserve my heat and light, otherwise it will be over after some time if I keep giving it to the whole solar system. Does he say that? Does the tree say that I should keep the leaves for myself, or I should because if they fall down, will I get new leaves or not? I should keep all the fruits to myself. I should not allow them to be plucked or drop down. What will happen to such a tree? Can tree ever think in that manner? Never. Does the sky say, oh man, I think I made a mistake by giving space, accommodation to this whole universe. They are always fighting. Always something is going wrong, or something is getting created, something is getting destroyed. Oh man, they never live in peace. Space is thinking. Does space ever think? Or it's as the universe keeps expanding, the space keeps expanding and includes everything in its womb, isn't it? The sun keeps, the showers its benevolence on everyone, its light on everyone, without holding back. The tree, without holding back, gives everything that it has: the wood, the leaves, the shade, the fruits, the flowers. River, without holding anything back, gives everything of its own to all the people. Man who calls himself intelligent, he does not learn by what the nature is teaching him. Instead, he goes into survival mode. See, goes into survival mode. And what happens as the survival mode kicks in? The ego becomes, the individuality becomes stronger and stronger and stronger and stronger. And what is the expression of individuality? Kama, krodha, lobha, moha, mada, matsarya. Anger, greed, jealousy, envy, hypocrisy, and arrogance. This is the expression of ego. This is the expression of extrovertedness. This is the expression of wanting to survive. This is the expression of there is not enough, I have to be careful. I cannot give. If I give, what will be left for me? And how do masters live? How do sannyasis live? In abundance. They don't worry from where the next is going to come. They live in this life, but they don't worry about what is in the future. They're living this moment 100%. I've given, just now someone told me, Swamiji, I just completed the Bhagavad Gita. They come to the Sanskrit class. So during, during the COVID, what to do? I said, do this, it will help you greatly. And they did. And they showed me beautiful handwriting, complete Bhagavad Gita written down. Not for showing off, not for their own engagement. So don't do it Bhagavad Gita. Do it with joy, do it with faith, do it with dedication, sincerity. Chant one chapter every day, or 10 verses, 20 verses, whatever you decide, but stick to it every day. Many people I have told, read one verse and read the meaning of it, or 5 verses and read the meaning of it. So many sadhak sanjeevanis, from the Gita press, the English commentary of Bhagavad Gita by Ram Sukdas ji. So many people I have distributed it. ISKCON keeps distributing it. They do. That is what he's telling here. We must be a positive force. Practice secretly. But what is that secret practice? When uski abhivyakti, Hindi mein, Sanskrit it is called, what is its manifestation? It's that secret practice which is going on, that love for the Gita, the love for the Lord, the love for the whole universe, which is His expression. Then don't you feel, if this body is also an expression of that divine alone, then it must engage with the divinity. It must engage that which is going to bring integrity. It must engage with that which is going to help the expression of the divine. Abundance. We live in lack. We live miserly because we think there is not enough. Economics of today's teaches, what is the definition of economics? Redistribution of scarce resources. So they have already accepted there are scarce resources, only limited is there. Now it has to be managed in such a way so that it makes us money. And how do we think? How do the scriptures think? How do the masters think? Distribution of or redistribution of abundant resources. But I can't see, that's not your problem. It will come. It will be revealed. Did you know me? Never. Did I know you? Never. But we came into contact. When we are seeking, when we are ready to know, the teacher and student comes together. It works in mysterious ways. Abundance also works in mysterious ways. But when we want, no, first show me abundance, then I will distribute. Then it is not going to work. You continue. I told you the story of one fellow who had a buffalo. And his parents before dying, they said, son, out of the 9 sons that I have given them land, gold, property, this, that. But you are alone, you are not even married, you don't want to get married. So you have very minimum needs. So I have given you a buffalo. It will give you, I have given you a cow or a buffalo. And it will give you milk, you can, you can survive with milk and yogurt. So the boy's thinking is, if in my destiny there is going to be one buffalo, and then how should I think of survival or should I think of giving? And that very moment one Mahatma came, Sadhu came. Beta, do you have something to eat? He had only milk and yogurt. He says, Baba, take. Gave it away. He gave him lot of blessings. And he said, Acha, I gave and I got lot. Next day again he was waiting. Again someone came. Again he says, how can I get more blessings? So he said, why am I thinking of only keeping the cow for myself or buffalo for myself and giving the milk and yogurt only? Now I am going to give away the buffalo itself. So next time someone came, he says, don't worry about this. I'll give you the milk and yogurt, but you take the buffalo also because dakshina has to be given. So he gave buffalo as a dakshina. No sadhu must come without giving dakshina. So that is the tradition. So gave the dakshina. By evening, this was in the afternoon, by evening, one buffalo was already there in his house. He didn't question whose is it, has it come from somewhere. He went and asked, is it yours? Nobody said it's ours. Oh, buffalo is there. He said, now what do I do? It's not mine. I can't take ownership of it. Then what do I do? Next day, another sadhu came. He gave away that buffalo. Again by evening, again another buffalo was there. Because destiny. Abundance. If you keep thinking about lack, you will be living in lack. If you live in abundance, then this universe will fall short. It's ever ready, just like all the elements which I told you, the space, the sun, the tree, the river, the earth, they are continuously giving. Then what is stopping us from continuously giving to the society, continuously giving to the neighbors, continuously giving to the environment, continuously giving? And that is called Sanatan Dharma, which all this knowledge has been incorporated in the Sanatan lifestyle. Get up in the morning, pray to the Lord, get up after the shower, do the arghya, offer to the sun, touch the moment your feet touch the earth, remember the goddess earth, and so on. And so everywhere you are seeing divinity, you are seeing abundance. How they are taking care of you in spite of you trodding earth. Earth never gives it back to you. You have walked so many times on me and kicked me, I will give it back to you now. She never says. That thought doesn't come to her. The sun doesn't say, you did not pray to me, I'll stop giving my light to you. It doesn't. It still keeps giving. Because he is giving it with abundance. He's not giving it, I like this fellow, so I'll give it to him. I don't like him, I will not give him. It's not like that. He's giving. He only knows how to give. This is what is told here, that I'll repeat it again. So we must inculcate it in our life. Whoever recites it every day or spends his time in the company of those who recite it or copies it, means writes it, and distributes it in a book form, opens a free eating place providing the food of liberation in the marketplace of worldly affairs, just as the sky provides open space for all to dwell in the firmament, to stay on the earth or to roam in the sunlight, so the Gita welcomes all without discriminating between the best and the lowest, and bestows upon them the bliss and peace of liberation. Thus the Vedas, afraid of being called miserly, entered the womb of the Gita and got dazzling fame. The knowledge of the Vedas became popular among the people only after Bhagavad Gita. Before, it was in the custody of all the rishis, it was in the rooms and it was secret among all the tapasvis. Where were they? They were in the ashrams, they were in the Himalayas, they were in the caves. Common man was totally aloof from all these Vedas. But once Bhagavad Gita came out in the open, it became available to everyone. Then man, out of his compulsions, he again protected it like those rishis were protecting it. He also started protecting it. And then every time in our great land of Bharat, great masters like Shankaracharya comes, Jnaneshwari Maharaj comes, Nivrittinath comes, Sai Baba comes. So many masters. Why so many masters on this land? Reinvent the same truth. It's not reinvent. Reinstate the same truth according to the modern times, according to the prevalent times. That's what they are doing. See? In this manner, where are we? Still time. Verse number 166. 1466. Manauni Vedachi Susevyata Tehe Murta Zana Shri Gita Shri Krishna Pandusudha Upadeshili Parivatsaceni Vorase Dubhate Hoya Gharodeshe Zhale Pandavace Nimishe Jagad Uddharana चातकाची कणवे मेघू पाणीये सीधावे तेथ चराचर आगवे निवाले जेवी का अनन्य गती कमळा लागी सूर्य ये वेळो वेळा की सुखिया होई जे डोळा त्रिभुवनीचा तैसे अर्जुनाचे निव्याजे गीता प्रकाशूनी श्रीराजे संसाराय ये वढे थोर आजे ओझे फेडिले जगाचे. He says that Lord Krishna taught the Vedas in the form of Gita so that all can grasp. The Vedas are clished, they are very, very compact, dense knowledge. It had to be made user friendly. So that those Vedas were made user friendly by expressing as Gita. That Gita was made user friendly by our Shankaracharya by writing Shankar Bhashya on it. That Shankar Bhashya was further in the devotional path, was again reinterpreted by Ramanujacharya to help a certain type of mindsets. The same thing was again reinterpreted by Madhvacharya for in the Udupi followers. So then so many teachers are, Chinmayananda was there, Swami Shivananda was there, Ramakrishna Paramahansa was there, Vivekananda was there. So each teacher has come and is expounding on the same Bhagavad Gita. One person, it's not one person for all. Yes, Bhagavad Gita is for all. It is your story. It is not someone's story. It is your story. So that is why in the land of Bharat, again and again masters come and show how Bhagavad Gita is relevant even today. They make it user friendly to the current times. The text is the same, but the examples are modern. See, this knowledge is eternal. You cannot make it better. You cannot make it better. You cannot improve on the Vedas. So all can grasp them with ease, just as the entire household gets the supply of milk which the cow releases for the sake of its calf, so the entire world becomes eligible for salvation through Arjuna. What is that verse in the Gita Dhyanam? Dobdha Gopalanandana. What is that? Om Pranavardhaya वेदांत विज्ञान, उसमें है क्या? पार्थो वत्स सुधीर भोक्ता गीता, हम देख आ जाएगा. So there it is told that Lord Krishna is the cow and Arjuna is the calf, and he is sucking on the milk that the mother is providing. See, and that nourishment is this Bhagavad Gita. That milk is this Bhagavad Gita. Another example is taken. The cloud sends rain out of kindness to the Chataka bird, but the world gets satisfaction from it. So yeah, it's a mythological bird, Chataka bird, which drinks only the water drops as they are falling down from the clouds. It doesn't drink water from the ground, lake, river, or nowhere. It will drink only the water which is coming down. But so here it's the vision. The clouds are raining not for us, they are raining so that the Chataka bird gets nourished. But we get the benefit of it. See? The man is carrying the water from the well or the river to his home because he needs to fill up and store water. But as he is bringing it on, carrying it in the buckets or whatever along the path, some water always sprinkles over because bucket is continuously with your steps. The water is dancing in the bucket. Some will always fall. But the purpose is to take the water home to drink, for drinking and bathing and cooking. But what is the side effect? Side effect is all the grass and the plants which are growing on the side of the footpath, they get the water without watering. Similarly, the clouds are raining for the Chataka bird, but we, people on the earth, we get the benefit of the rain, and that is the idea that is given. Get satisfaction from it. The sun rises every morning to make the helpless lotus blossom, but the eyes of all people become gratified by its light. So, the sun is not coming up to wake us up. He is coming to make the lotus bloom. But we find the joy in seeing the sun and starting our day. Thus, on the plea of Arjuna, Lord Krishna revealed the Bhagavad Gita to the world and lightened the heavy burden of its existence. What is misery and grief? When you have taken the world to be a burden. In other words, you have become a donkey. Who is a donkey? Who has taken the burden of the wife or the husband, who has taken the burden of the parents and the in-laws, who has taken the burden of the children, who have taken the burden of the society. So should we not serve? Serve, but as an expression of the divine, as a service to the divine rather than as a burden. When the burden is there, it will make us complain. When we take it as a burden, what is in it for me? And then irritation comes. But when you take it as that they are expressions of the divine, the same consciousness is helping, is expressing. See, there is one, in Melbourne only, there was one Malaysian chef. And he started a restaurant in St. Kilda somewhere. And he doesn't charge for it. Today also it's running. I can't remember. Google it and tell me. Huh? No charges. Anyone is allowed to come and eat. And you can give whatever you want in remuneration. He himself used to sleep on the St. Kilda beach. He had a tent and till police evicted him. Then he took an apartment. And young, below 30 he started it. And that means his age was below 30. But within little bit of struggle, but he kept providing. He believed in abundance. He believed in seva. Very soon, within 3-4 months, the tide turned. People started giving more money. They'll say, oh, you are eating, they will sponsor someone else's. Or if outside the food costs $10, they'll put $15 or $20. Oh, no, it is not costing 10. No, feed someone else. There are many people who are coming who need the food. And now he has two. He has opened one in Malaysia also, in Kuala Lumpur. This is abundance. Believing that there is no lack in this creation. Thus, on the plea of Arjuna, Lord Krishna revealed the Gita to the world and lightened the heavy burden of its experience, of its existence. So many people living without food. All of them are getting food there. There's a queue on weekends, the Friday, Saturday. I think we'll leave it here. 1470. So, live in abundance. Don't live in lack. Don't live miserly. Live with an open heart. Be ready to smile at the world. Share your joy and smile with the world. Share yourself with the world without any expectation in return. There is abundance. Learn from, according to Jnaneshwari Maharaj, learn from the trees, learn from the river, learn from space, learn from sun, learn from clouds, learn from earth. These were all the gurus of Dattatreya. This is what we are speaking, is what he learned. That they give without holding back. We give with calculation. Isn't it? Imagine if I'm speaking on Bhagavad Gita and I say, I don't think they will understand this, so I hold back. I think this is very secretive. Every person who is not qualified should not listen to it, and I don't share. How will it be? But here we are in full abandon because we know we are not speaking, he is speaking, or Jnaneshwari Maharaj is speaking. We don't take the ownership. Whoever has to get what, they will get it. If air is available everywhere, still people are having asthma. What is the fault of the air? Huh? What is the fault of the air? If the sun is continuously shining, still the people are living in darkness, in dark rooms, in caves. They don't want to come out. What is the fault of the sun? No fault of the sun. So similarly, those who are fear mongers, that we should not distribute this knowledge to uncultured people, we should not give this knowledge to unqualified people, we should not give this knowledge to unpurified people. Learn this example, take this example. Now we give, like Jnaneshwari Maharaj, this is the difference. Traditionally that used to be the thought. But Jnaneshwari Maharaj, no, give in abundance to everyone. Everyone will get something. Something will click to them. If one thing clicks, their journey has started. That much lightly they will be able to live. That much less misery they will experience in their life. And in this manner, the Gyaneshwari Maharaj has done a yeoman service to humanity by giving this Jnaneshwari to one and all, just as in the 14th or 15th century, Tulsi Das ji gave that Ramayana which was written in Sanskrit as Tulsi Ramayana to, and it became accessible to one and all in the North India. He is the one who gave Hanuman Chalisa. Now the whole world chants Hanuman Chalisa. See? If it was in Sanskrit, only a handful of people can chant. But Hanuman Chalisa, the whole world is chanting. Tulsi Ramayana, the whole world is chanting. For that purpose, such saints are born again and again. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. So this weekend we have the retreat, so no morning class. And on Tuesday I'm going to Sydney for 10-12 days, 2 weeks probably. So the class is not there, online classes. Or whatever satsang is going on, wherever I am. So we'll see you in 2 weeks. Harihi Om.